Evening, everybody. IC here. It's been a few days since I've done a video, so I figure what the hell, I'll give it another shot, talk about a couple stupid things. Let's start with Governor Hochul, Governor Kathy Hochul. Here in New York, she's sitting here spewing about how January 6th was an insurrection and how it goes against the core principles of the people of the state of New York, and it is a threat upon our democracy. Well, newsflash, lady, we are not a democracy. This country has never been a democracy, and it's something you Democrats like to spew all the time, when in fact we are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic, okay? And what that means is we the people actually rule, not you politicians. But you've got so many people inundated with fear that they don't want to stand up against you. Me, I'm an old bastard. I don't care anymore. All right, well, that's number one. Number two, we listened to Alejandro Mayorkas, our Department of Homeland Security immigrant, because he's an immigrant. Was not born or bred here. He was an immigrant, brought here, I think, like 2 years old from Cuba, I believe. The reason why this guy does not enforce the border security is because he's pro-open border. He's not going to ruin the chance of having all these illegals coming in and voting Democrat, and that's what they're doing. They're voting Democrat. But here's the thing that bothers me the most, and I'm hoping maybe you people will agree with me on this one, is that they're supposed to secure the border. As federal law says, our border is supposed to be secure. Now, if somebody intentionally changes so that things down on the border so that it's more open, namely former President Trump had that border pretty much secure. He was building a wall to prevent people from coming in. The Mexican government had agreed to hold everybody there for the Remain in Mexico policy, and we had the least number of illegals coming into the country in decades. Soon as President Joe Biden got into office, all that changed, and now within 3 years, we're talking, 9 million almost illegal aliens coming into this country? 700,000 in just a 2-month time frame. So it tells me that their policies are totally wrong. Why aren't they trying to correct them? But they say they are, which is, political speech for just shut the hell up, right? So here's what I'm talking about. Can these families of these people that are killed at the hands of illegals file lawsuits against Mayorkas, Biden, Kamala Harris, that she's supposedly the border czar, for aiding and abetting murder? That young girl was murdered by an illegal alien. Why isn't someone being held accountable for allowing that illegal alien into this country in the first place? So that's a good question, and I've yet to hear anybody talk about an answer to that. Now let's see what else we got going on. China's getting squirrely still. They're making threats to the U.S. in regards to their joint operations with the Philippine military. China's getting angry with the Philippines because they're trying to build a base on one of the shoals that they currently have a grounded supply ship is sitting aground on a reef. And the Philippine government says, well, that's ours. So, and the International Court in The Hague plus the UN has all agreed that those shoals belong to the Philippines, but China wants control. So that's where a lot of the conflict's going on. They're using their so-called Coast Guard ships shooting at the Philippine supply boats with water cannons, and they're also using acoustic weapons to injure the people's ears and stuff. So we got that going on over in the Asian theater. And let's see what else is going on. Crime rates through the roof. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, is complaining about the illegals, and he's been talking about suing the bus companies for bringing the illegals up. How can you sue a company that gets hired and paid to perform a function? It's they're not picking and choosing who they're bringing. They are contracted to bring whoever they are paid to bring. The person you have to go after is the person that is paying them, not the company itself. I mean, that's like saying, I'm going to sue a manufacturer of forks because the fork made me fat. It's like stupid. Come on. Let's see what else is going on. Not California, but Illinois. Illinois is trying to confiscate weapons again. I don't know why, but it seems to me, and take it or leave it, but it seems to be a national issue and a priority among the Democrat, party, is that they always talk gun control. Ban the AR-15, ban the AK-47, ban this, ban that. We're going to put restrictions on you. You can't do this, you can't do that. But notice that they always go after just the law-abiding citizens. I've yet to hear any of them say, we're going after the criminals, we're going to leave the law-abiding citizens alone, and we're going to focus on getting guns out of the hands of criminals. Because think about it. Criminals are the ones that are breaking the law. It's not the law-abiding citizens. But yet they target the law-abiding citizens. Why? Because they don't break the law, so they're easier to get to comply with their little write-ups and stuff, But any way you look at it, you can't keep targeting people that obey the law to make yourself look good. Eventually, you're going to have to take a stand and go after the criminals that are breaking the law. Illegals crossing the border are criminals. Who the hell was that? I think it was AOC, or was it Governor Hochul? I can't remember. It's one of the two. Was saying that it was demeaning to refer to these illegals as criminals. Well, wait a second. If you cross the border illegally, you're breaking federal U.S. law. Breaking the law means that you committed a crime. Committing a crime makes the person who committed the crime a criminal. I don't see how that one got over their head. They really don't understand that one. But then again, this is the same people that said the destruction of Baltimore, Seattle, St. Louis, Washington, D.C., L.A., San Francisco, all the destruction from these people, Black Lives Matter riots and everything else, they were just protests, peaceful protests. There was a little bit of rowdiness, but they call it peaceful protest. Meanwhile, the video footage has already shown that January 6th was, I'll say, 95% peaceful. You had 5% bunch of idiots that were causing problems, and I agree those few should be arrested. But you got people being arrested for walking into the Capitol building, which is the people's building anyway. We paid for it. That's like saying you build a garage and then you're not allowed to put your car in it. It makes no sense. Did they do it with any malice? No. There was no malice involved. Former President Trump said peacefully march to the Capitol and peacefully protest. He specifically said peacefully, but they always seem to take that word out because they want it to be he marched to the Capitol and he created an insurrection. If it was an actual insurrection, don't you think that the people that were there would have been charged with insurrection? Not a single person was charged with insurrection, but yet a lot of them are still sitting in jail. So this is our justice system under the control of wannabe dictators. They don't want the truth to be known, and right now, that since the tapes have been released, the truth has been known. These people are breaking the law and their oath of office by locking these people up. So hopefully it gets settled and quite quickly. It will get settled once President Trump gets reelected, because I got a feeling that's what's going to happen. And if it is It's going to be an interesting 4 years because the man knows who his enemies are. He knows where to focus his attention, and he also knows that the world leaders that are currently running roughshod over Joe Biden will have to pull up and backpedal because they all know that he's not going to take their crap. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Let's see. That's about it. So y'all have a good night. ICY out.